We already have some action on the stage.
We do.
Got Crimsix is doing a bit of chirping there on on Sensor on the other side here. We'll be starting with Crimsix, and again, you'll notice that he looks like he has the ACR in hand, which is definitely my pick in a rifling sense. It gives you a bit of middle ground between that sort of up close and personal play and longer range. It has brutal horizontal recoil though. That's something you can sort of rectify with some attachments. So keep an eye on Crimsix here. He's the man to watch.
Ooh, is this opening EMP to get things started too?
He's cooking, baby.
Oh, well. Okay, not so much. Doesn't quite get over the top. But this is all about trying to control, like you mentioned, man, those outside angles. First 2 kills looking good. Pacman responding on the other side. So we do have a pretty even numbers split while the offense has a little bit of a tough time coming out, but Crim has provided an avenue to open things up.
And already look, he's surging ahead. He is on that phantom roll, and like he talked about, I think in the pre-show, he loves that extra 20 HP, helps him in fights like this. He gets the edge on JCap and had 15 health left, right. It's traded back eventually here. Package, though, is already on the way, 8.2%. X, though, is taking a breather here. Pacman's popping off!
He's doing it, man. The firebomb can clear out these tight alleys so quickly. Tough 1v1 in the back, and Abel heads the defense with numbers. And you kind of saw that patience you mentioned. This is going to be a key part of Escort as count your numbers. How many are still left? Do we have the ability to stack on to Carlos and get this thing running?
ACR's in hand for many of these players. His Ace is looking to close the distance on JCap there. Bit of peek from Pacman, and it's the burn, of course, that cleaner passive that allows him to find that key kill. See here, Pacman having an incredible start already with 6 of those kills. And yeah, you gotta be pretty pleased if you're defenders.
6-2 start, that's SMG domination, if you were to call it anything. But a little bit of a split fire coming out. You've got Carlos moving really quickly to get to this first checkpoint, and the stack is in. Mitch, they're finding the trades they need. 2 for 2 goes the exchange, and now a chance to get to this first checkpoint, just a little bit further to go.
Yeah, it's got to be a push out here now from JCap, and he and Pacman are going to be there, stopping the package just before that first checkpoint is achieved. JCap anticipating a gunfight in the next few moments here, and again, they're trying to work their way up the periphery, try and make it hard to approach. Ace with a cross shot. What a connection on JCap. He's beaming.
But the defense still able to come out 3 for 1 overall, so the defense can still hold this ground, and possibly once this incendiary drone fades, get a little bit further up. This is everything right now. Still tons of time on the clock, 3 minutes, but it's all about can you actually get forward enough, because now the package will start to retreat since the offense hasn't touched it in some time.
And this is going to draw one of the attackers out into the open onto the package here.
Crimsix isn't afraid to share his opinion, and we heard all about his favorite ultimate ability in the game, so let's check it out.
Yeah, the Phantom's Ultra, the Aegis shield, bubble shield. It's got a little sonic shotgun, gravity shotgun. I don't know what it is, I just like it. Except when I got the flamethrower shows up, then it kind of sucks. But yeah, gotta time it right.
Speaking of which, Pacman does have that purifier in hand, speaking of which, so an opportunity to cause problems up close here. Aegis, very powerful ability though, Shift. We've seen it used in situations like this multiple times, but the defenders are holding strong for the time being.
It's a lot of time off the clock, and for reference, it is called a scattergun, Crimp, just for future points, but 93% towards it. A couple of kills, assists, anything of the nature, that is when he can get that earned up, and that's what you may need to get this package to actually get to the full distance. Really close, kills coming through, a chance to get it over the finish line right here for the first segment.
Oh, and Abel was looking dangerous there. The sonar goggles were up, and
Nice.
it looks like Crimsix is going to get it home. That first checkpoint going to be coming up here. Tries to get a little bit closer. Sensor ultimately able to bring him down, but we're up to 4 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock here.
Yeah, and spawns will now start to change. The defense who was spawning really, really close to try to defend against that first segment, now they'll be pushed back. And this is the time where you want to make the call, get the kills, 4-man stack. Let's get the package going as far as humanly possible before the defense can get into position again.
Getting the ball past that staircase is pretty important. It can be difficult to play from that position as attackers. Aix, though, starting to put some work in here. Realizes there's a mag barrier in his way, which is absolutely going to shut down that Ultra, but 2 kills is enough.
Dude, the Ultra shut down by a mag-sec barrier. Yeah. First 2 kills are great, like you mentioned, but not a lot of further ground to be gained. Now, the Purifier out in response, but it only gets 2, so a chance for the offense to keep the package moving.
And it is still moving here, 52% and counting now. Aix coming back here off the break. looking to get his hands dirty once more. And again, we are still advancing here to some degree. 53% enable,
Nice
trying to work
shots.
the periphery. Great work. That's 2 for him. Going to slow down the attackers in a big way.
And the ARs getting the first 3 kills. You saw the follow-up. Pacman gets forward. Now the SMGs are trying to congest you in towards this back area as much as humanly possible. Not a lot of ultras remain at the moment, so this is all about, hey, here's Katie talking about the fireplace play, but doesn't quite get all the way up. The defense still holds strong. Again, the ultras that you see from Crim may have to be popped here to get this moving a little bit further.
Aches with the digital ghillie suit here, but you are revealed somewhat when you're moving. It's much more powerful if you're stationary, but that's not an option for the attackers here. Aegis is available. Crimsic should know that it's far more powerful if a teammate of his can stand inside of it. He goes for the trade here, but it is going to favor the attackers now. We see Sensor trying to push back a little bit more. Pacman, Pentagram rather.
Wow.
Such a problem going 3 down. Beautiful moment for him.
And I love to see that the cleaners are being used by our SMG players. It makes that time to kill so much more reduced. That extra burn damage really comes into play. Plus, of course, you have the ability to kind of poke and prod at ARs that are at long range. Sensor working out a spawn, package back on the move, but it's all about the timing coming up of what this offensive versus defensive Aegis is going to look like. So I think that's all we have available at the moment.
Interesting to see Sensor on a rifle roll as opposed to SMGing for the most part. Look at this defense. They just burst out here of the opening, but did they kick this over? My goodness, yeah. Sensor just looking at the package, I guess, and it gets across the line. So that is a time extension for the attackers here. Sensor's in a decent spot, but is only able to trade.
I'm really surprised that he was in a good position. I thought to pop Aegis, get there, contest a little while longer. You're going to have plenty of time to re-earn that back up again, at least so you would think. So, you know, question marks there as far as did the defense actually put together a hold that they needed? Because now you're kind of stuck in these arcade areas. It can be hard to read where the offense is coming from, especially when the digital ghillie is being used.
On deck with Pentagram here. Purifier available. Oh, okay, Pacman, yeah, walk straight up into that one. The MP7, of course, really deadly up close. You'll notice that no need for any fancy optics here. Stick with the iron sights and make sure you have plenty of room for the rest of those attachments. Package is still advancing, 80% and counting, and Pentagram is ready for some contact. He's going to pop that. Oh, Sensor! You want fries with that, my friend? Inside the Aegis, homie gets cooked.
Dude, that is just the timing of who shoots who first, right? I mean, both are essentially one-shot kills, but Pentagram gets the little bit of information off the bubble, steps in with the fire already ready to go, and now it's a huge shutdown with a chance for further push. Just comes down to, will this offense pop Aegis here to try to get this done quickly?
Pentagram's looking out for the sonar goggle player right now. Really can't win that kind of matchup with only 6 points of health, so he's going to sit and wait. Firebomb can be deadly pretty much up close and personal. It's going to be Sensor finding 2 here. Pacman, the crossfire here from Pentagram as he wants to continue advancing, but he sees at length JCap, and the MP7 can't contest at that range. He'll get up close, though.
Trying to get a little bit further over towards the side. It can be really tough on this last little stretch to get Carlos up the ramp. So many crossfire angles right off the defensive spawn. So you can see what the offense is trying to do with controlling one side over the other, get the kills you need, then restack. Didn't quite work out. Defense now a chance to respond.
Oh!
And okay, how about that for a fire back?
That's a good look here. Pacman getting 2 huge kills, and the defender's starting to stabilize now. Package on the way back. Crimsic's playing it a little bit more slowly. You can see Ace there with that digital ghillie suit. They're going to have to deal with this mag barrier first. They get rid of it. JCap also falling just as the barrier went down. And nice little play from Crimsic's here. He's found Sensor and Enable. This bot is getting moving.
I don't know if there's going to be anyone to stop this in time. You have to touch the purifiers out. Pacman's going to take down 3. It stops it just before it can get up the final ramp, and the defense will stabilize.
What a crucial 3-piece at a huge moment. Make it 4 as Pacman gets that team down. There'll be respawns coming back in soon enough. You see Pentagram wastes no time in trying to get back towards the bot. Crimsix wants to clear the flank here. Wrap around. Mantle's up and he knows it's a bit awkward now dealing with his cleaners up close, but Sensor runs headlong into him.
And that's the full defense down. Team wipe in play. Now you can get back on, try to get this thing towards that rampway. Defense still spawning close, but high ground position starts to go the way of the offense. Top 1v1, but Crim still takes the win. Plus follows up. There's the chance for the final push.
Beautiful stuff here for Crimsix. He is tough to handle right now. He had an opportunity to deploy the mag barrier, but he was the flank player, not the escorter. So he gets taken down. Sensor was able to find him. Pentagram gets the comm here. Not the best range for him to try and line up JCap, so we'll have to go for another fight.
Yeah, it's just the 2 that are on the outside. Here comes the next echelon. Sonar goggles in play. Lots of reveal you see in the minimap when it comes down to the other players getting that information. Can they find the eliminations? First 2 looking good. Aches still alive with the pistol out, but he may not be needed as the push looks like it very well could come through with this final stack.
98 and counting. Nades being thrown out here. JCap gets a face full though, and that'll be a complete from Team Aches. 8 minutes and 54 seconds, that's the time to beat.
That's not bad at all. I thought that there were moments for the defense that they could have possibly stabilized in that second segment, maybe a touch longer, trying to use those ultras right during that midpoint fight as we were trying to get to that last stretch. But ultimately, the offense had a couple of really great counterplay. The Purifier counter towards the Aegis, I think, really takes the cake. And then at the end, I think the timing for Aegis using that Echelon Ultra, perfect to get the reveal you need to turn the tides.
See, Pacman, pretty darn solid round here. Really nice performance, obviously on that cleaner class, and Aegis here with 25 kills. As mentioned, he really enjoys playing that Echelon. Crimsix having a pretty nice round as well.
Yeah.
Rifling his way up a lot of the time, the flank here. I'm going to start on board with Sensor, and Team Pacman now have a good idea of what the time is to beat.
Slow start from Slack, by the way. He came up to us and was like, hey, Shift, Uber, make sure you guys let everyone know that I dropped 1.4 plus last time around. He, I think, was like 11 and 21, so a slow start from Slack. Maybe trying to get things going here on the offensive side. Mitch, you take a look at how this barrier is going to drop. You have 3 players looking to kind of threaten the right side of the map immediately. BioVita is popped. Sensor getting the MagSec barrier down. Information off of the intel coming out of the Echelon, but the first couple of kills good for the offense. That will allow them to get into the package really quickly.
Yeah, the mag barrier, pretty crucial in that moment. Intel suit really effective when you're up close and personal, but that actually meant for Rakes he had to put himself in harm's way to get that information, and they couldn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, really good shutdown coming out early here from Team Pacman on their offense, trying to get that early progress going. I think the time to beat 8:54, definitely doable, especially if you can continue to find early success like this. Pentagram throwing out some effort, though, and that's going to be a full team wipe for the defense.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity here for the defenders to get some setup. Crimsix and Pentagram combining for that entire team. Enable bursting forth, going to play up that right-hand side of the map here. We'll stay with Pacman for the time being. See how he wants to approach this. He's a little bit staggered out from the rest of his team, and there's some nades coming in from the defenders.
And that's the biggest thing that you mentioned is at a certain point, you kind of have to, everyone take a breath, take a beat, get put together. This is very much so an individual game where you can see the individual POVs, but if you're not playing as a full 4-man squad, you will get ripped apart, and we see it once again, the defense stabilizing and establishing some dominance here early.
There's got to be a conversation about who on Team Pacman is tasked with getting the package moving. Pacman tried to do so, but he was completely outranged immediately. He needs to start working the periphery a little bit more and maybe shutting down someone like Pentagram, who is starting to run over Team Pacman.
Would love to see them try to use some more utility overall, whether that's nades or these early abilities just to control space. JCap Enable does kind of control the right side. Defense now coming off spawn, looking to threaten with nades of their own, as we should be getting pretty close here to the first couple of ultras as we get this payload continue to move towards the first place. Great incendiary drop from the new guy up. Pentagram's going to get 2 with it, and the defense once again pushes back the attack.
Look, the incendiary drone moves very quickly, and you don't have much of an opportunity to dodge it, but you do have to aim it to some degree. That was absolute dirty carpet bombing from Pentagram there. Really turning up here. The guy's hungry for it. JCap, though, gives him more than he can handle meal-wise. Back towards the package now, and still 2 minutes 55 to get that first checkpoint.
And they're getting a little bit more progress done here. Once you get past those first little outside areas, then you start to see a little bit of daylight. An ability to kind of control and maybe push the defense back just a touch, but once again, it's Pentagram starting to heat things up. 3 kills in a row for him, and Carlos will take a knee while the offense once again comes off spawn.
Poor, that's disgusting from Pentagram. Again, another huge 3-piece here. This is going to slow things down again for Team Pacman. Plenty of time, in fairness, to work with, though. The bot is going to start backing up, and the next part of the map is going to be the most treacherous. Pacman wins a crucial duel here, but runs headlong into Ace, who shuts him down. That's traded out. The defenders still have a strong hold here.
Taking a look as far as what this offense is trying to do is all 4 members. You can kind of see them spreading the outsides of the map again, but honestly, Mitch, there's just not a lot of players playing kind of in combination of one another. Little bait and switch over for Pacman to try to recontrol the left side, but the offense is coming in kind of staggered. This is taking a ton of time.
Yeah, it's really going to be Pacman in the individual sense here to try and create an opening for the rest of his team. Shut down instantly, though, by Slack. Not a good sign. It's JCap trying to make his way towards the bot now. Enable not too far behind. He needs to work the left-hand side of the map if possible. Almost ready for that ultra for Pacman. Could be a game-changer shift.
He's the only one that's close to it. Just needs the last 2%, and then maybe there's going to be an opportunity to pop the Purifier, be a difference maker, but Pentagram beats him to the punch. Another triple for Penta, and that once again puts the offense right back into spawn.
Yeah, every time we see them fight, Pentagram is a step ahead of Pacman. Both of them fulfilling similar roles. The latter, the grizzled veteran, coming off second best more often than not. This time it's Crimsix who deals in the lethal blow.
And I just don't know how Pacman's going to get into position to actually effectively use this purifier. He needs a little bit of help to get forward, because popping it here just to get out of spawn would be a complete waste. Near 60 seconds left. This has to be the successful hit for Team Pacman.
Yeah, and again, shut down by Crimsix, trying to make his way up the periphery. Let's go to the other cleaner. It's Pentagram here, who's pushed up well and truly past the bot here because the defenders realize they have a power play now.
Oh, yeah.
Aix slacked, starting to generate a little bit of momentum here.
It's just shut down, Mitch. I mean, no one can get out of spawn. Aix is really going to make them feel the pain. He's got the sonar goggles out, getting a double, and this is it right here. 35 seconds remaining. You not only need to shut down Aix, but you also need to find a way to get some ground to work with if you want to get this first segment done.
This is going to be a tough one for Team Pacman. Aegis finally popped for Crimsix here. Aix found a huge brace of kills with those sonar goggles, and Crimsix needs to get past the mag barrier. Oh, the pressure's coming. He can't quite reach his target. They're back in spawn. Still job done for Crimsix here. He is slowing those attackers down even more. Pacman, though, coming out with the Purifier. This might be an opportunity to get the bot moving. They are back there, but there's 6 seconds left in the round. It's do or die for Team Pacman here on this first map.
And you have the Aegis down, but again, look how much Carlos had retreated. Overtime will be here as long as the offense can stay on the package. Last chance comes out from JCap, but there it is. Everything dwindles away, and absolute domination from the new guy up. Pentagram pops off with cleaners, and that is good enough for them to get the full capture and then completely stop Pacman from even getting out of spawn.
Nothing like a new game to give an up-and-comer an opportunity to shine. Pentagram absolutely cooking, literally, on that map for much of it. Very impressive opener for Team Aix here. They're here to double down on their wins against Team Pacman. That's some brutal stuff.